back your homes, or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
Hey everyone, today I'm going to discuss the mystery that is Quaithe. Not to be confused with the waif from Bravos. Rather, Quaithe is a shadow bender presumably from Asai, which in itself is a fairly mysterious place on its own. Quaithe's appearance is described saying she has wet and shiny eyes, and she wears a dark red lacquered wooden mask. Quaithe makes an appearance in the show when Daenerys is visiting Quaithe. Of course, like most of the plotline, she has a more prominent role in the book series, where she appears to Daenerys multiple times in visions, usually providing a fortune or prophecy of sorts. The question of the day is, who is she? Now, her identity is not the only theory about Quaithe that is popular. With the text from the books, every line in reference to her has been broken down word for word to understand the true meaning of her prophecies and warnings. Today, I only want to talk about who the masked woman might be. I am no one, but she is the mother of dragons. She needs true protectors, now more than ever. They shall come day and night to see the wonder that has been born again into the world, and when they see they shall lust, for dragons are fire made flesh, and fire is power. Okay, just to say we've talked about it, let's knock out the faceless man theory. She said she is no one, literally no one, much to the liking of a true faceless man serving the many-faced god. Here's my problem with it. A faceless man does not need a mask to hide their identity. They do not appear in visions with prophecies, and the relationship Quaithe has with Daenerys is not how faceless men carry themselves. In other words, I know George R. R. Martin has bigger intentions for her character than revealing an assassin from the House of Black and White. Okay, the next possible identity is Shira Seastar. Shira was the last bastard from Aegon IV, and she was one of the most beautiful women in the world. So beautiful, in fact, men would fight to the death for her love. It is also good to note that Shira is the sister of Brynden Rivers, better known as the Blood Raven before Bran. The first reason this is relevant is because Brynden Rivers was around 125 years old when he died, which means if Quaithe is really Shira Seastar, then she is pretty old too. But how could this be? Quaithe is not known as an old woman with a mask on. In the show, she actually appears quite young, of course from what little of her skin we can actually see. This is when it's also good to note that Shira Seastar practiced the dark arts and even bathed in blood to keep herself looking young and beautiful. A form of blood magic, huh? That has been known to keep things pretty interesting and mysterious in the world of Westeros. But wait, there's more. The sister of the Blood Raven probably has some talents and abilities of her own. Maybe those that allow her to appear to Daenerys in the form of visions. That's not too far-fetched, right? Additionally, the surname Seastar breaks down into the phrase Star of the Sea. Dany mentions while in the Dothraki Sea that when Quaithe appears to her, her wooden mask looked to be made of starlight. Dany asks Quaithe what she wants, and Quaithe responds with, "To show you the way." This is a representation of Quaithe guiding Dany across the Dothraki Sea. If we take one more look at the surname Seastar and note that it means Star of the Sea, we may be reminded of a story in real life about sailors being guided by a star named Stella Maris across the ocean, guiding them to land. Now, Stella Maris, of course, is Latin for Star of the Sea. Finally, Shira's fate was not disclosed in the books. Could this be because she is still alive and well, sending prophetic visions to Daenerys? While there is a good bit of similarities between the two characters, George R. R. Martin does not overly touch on Shira Seastar in A Song of Ice and Fire. She does, however, come up a bit in the Tales of Dunk and Egg, mainly because the plot of the Dunk and Egg series surrounds the Blackfyre Rebellion, which is the timeline for the life of Shira Seastar. So let's move on. The most popular theory for the true identity of Quaithe is that of Asara Dane. Asara Dane was a beautiful lady of House Dane of Starfall. She was the sister of the legendary swordsman Sir Arthur Dane. Now, Arthur Dane was Rhaegar Targaryen's best friend. He was a knight of the Kingsguard and was killed at the Tower of Joy when Eddard Stark was pursuing his sister Lyanna. Arthur wielded the ancestral Dane family sword called Dawn up until his death, wherein which Ned Stark retrieved the sword and, being the honorable man he was, took it promptly back to Starfall. Once Asara learned of her brother's fate, it was said that she threw herself out of a tower to her death because she couldn't bear her loss. It is also speculated that because she really had a thing for Ned Stark, almost in the way that Robert Baratheon obsessed over Lyanna, she killed herself because Ned did not feel the same as her. Anyways, the evidence of the Quaithe being Asara Dane is this. The house sigil for the Danes is a falling star and a sword. They named the location Starfall because apparently long ago, a shooting star came to a crashing halt west of present-day Dorne, and thus the location was respectively named Starfall. This is where the theory comes into play. Remember the mention of Quaithe's mask? It looks to be made of starlight. Starfall, starlight, the key word is obviously star, and the reference to stars always seem to show up when George R. R. Martin writes about either Quaithe, Asara, and even just House Dane in general. Asara was one of the many present at the tourney of Harrenhal, the famous event that ended with Rhaegar presenting a blue winter rose crown to Lyanna Stark, initiating the feud that started Robert's rebellion. Many people believe that Asara did not in fact kill herself, and it could have been a cover-up, much like many other things were at that time. With the connection to stars that Quaithe's character seems to have, it could be plausible that House Dane may have a few secrets in that area. It is good to note that Daenerys hears whispers of the stars, in the voice of a woman multiple times in A Song of Ice and Fire. Reading into it literally, the stars could represent the Danes, much like the lions represent the Lannisters, the wolves the Starks, the stags the Baratheons, and so on. And what lady of House Dane has a great bit of text written about her? Yep, you've guessed it, Asara Dane. There is one more theory that some people read into, believing Quaithe is Daenerys from the future. I don't much like that theory due to the lack of contextual evidence. Regardless of who lines up best in the books or in the show, we know this. Quaithe wears a mask, and the purpose no one knows. She is unlike any other characters in the books. Her identity seems to be more than just a mysterious attribute for her character's role, and it's likely without the mask she could be recognized as someone else who is important to the story. Out of all of the theories we cover on this channel, this one has got to be the most speculative, with absolutely no hard evidence going in any direction. Anyways guys, let me know in the comments who you think Quaithe is. Do you think we will ever find out who is underneath that mask? Last thing, we are doing another Game of Thrones giveaway once we hit 75,000 subscribers, and with the way we are growing, that could be in a couple of weeks. To enter, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment on this video stating your favorite theory or event that's happened in Game of Thrones. Everyone have a great day, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.